I've seen it all. There is there is a reason why we are the fastest growing real estate company in history. There's a reason why the biggest names, the biggest teams, the biggest brokerages, the largest independent brokerage in the United States came over to EXP and brought 900 of their agents. We just had Kevin Harrison from Shark Tank. Is it Kevin? Yeah. Just joined our EXP commercial. We have people like Grant Cardone that has joined EXP, and just a lot of agents and brokers from a lot of different backgrounds and places in their careers. And we're super excited to share with you why that is. So we like to kind of make this very simple, right? We talk about, sales is why we're all here. We all want to sell houses. It's our passion, it's our joy, it's what puts food on the table. We love to work with people. We love going out and making our money every day, slaying dragons every day. Like I like to say, it's a part of what I love about this business. And that's something you can kind of do anywhere. You can go to any company and sell houses. Now, the tools, the technology, the support, the mentorship, that's all super important in regards to how you're going to be able to do that. How efficient are you going to be? How much support are you going to have? What kind of training and tools are you going to be given to allow you to be at your maximum potential? All those things are super important, right? If you're a part-time agent, if you're a full-time agent, if you want to build a team, if you have aspirations to grow, all those things are important. So lane one, when we call this the hamster wheel lane, not disparagingly so, but the reason we do that is because that's kind of what real estate is. It's kind of what the general brokerage model, that antiquated model is. You're running as fast as you can. You're on the fast lane, trying to sell as many houses as you can every year. And then you start over at zero again on January 1st. And then you start that whole process all over again.
Hey,
So,
Mark, do you want to share your screen?
oh, is it not being shared?
No.
Huh. All right. Well, thanks for letting me know. All right. Hold on a second, guys. All right. Yeah, that's a big component of the presentation here. All right. So can you guys see it now?
Yes.
All right, good. So this was our lovely beginning screen. And here, thank you for, before we got into it too far. So this gives you the rundown of the 3 lanes, right? So we were talking about lane 1, and it leads right into this, right? We have the sales lane, which is your electronic delivery system like Dotloop or DocuSign. You have your training, you have your, what we have is a virtual office. You have your ability to collaborate and to learn and to grow and to train. Workplace, we'll talk about that. The world and workplace are 2 revolutionary concepts that have just entered the field of work in a way that it never before has been introduced and utilized. And so we'll talk about what that looks like and how that's beneficial for you as an agent and how that can be beneficial for your team, your growth, and your goals. KV Core, that is our lead generation system, right? It's our customer relationship management software, and it is beast mode. If you guys have heard of Boomtown or Sync or any of those really big names, it's on par with all that. The Cadillac of lead generation systems with all the add-ons. Heather's going to talk a little bit more about that as well. And I do want to introduce Heather. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Heather Morton Hill is also on the call with us today, and she's going to be sharing in some of these slides a little bit of background on us. I owned my own brokerage, top 1% for our footprint. I was just a boutique brokerage before I learned about EXP. I was always struggling to get my agents, put them at another level, find out how to get them to grow. I knew I was their ceiling. The traditional brokerage model is just antiquated, and it's just the way that real estate has been for the last 50 years. And so I looked at multiple ways to find my agents a new way, a new option. We looked at insurance, we looked at 401k, we looked at just tons of different options, and it's just really difficult. I knew that, again, they were my retirement plan. I knew that I was kind of their ceiling. And when EXP came along, it offered an opportunity for them to have the same opportunity that I had, and for us to work together as partners, and for us to have not just a sort of a forced 401k, which real estate doesn't offer you. They kind of put you out to, run you ragged and put you out to pasture, right? It's just, again, the way the business is built. This I knew gave an opportunity for them to have more, and to have watched these people that I care about and came up with in the industry do so well with this model has been really amazing. So Heather is actually in Burlington. She has an office there, and she is also. I'll let her, when she talks, I'll let her talk a little bit about her background. But she is also just an absolute professional, just a beast, and just doing huge things in Burlington. So thank you, Heather, for joining us on the call today.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
All right, so KV Core, we have an iBuyer program that will compete directly against the Open Doors and the Zillows of the world, so that we are not crushed by these guys. We actually can come and have something to bring to the table, which is beautiful. Healthcare, right? We offer healthcare to our agents. I'm saving about $800 a month from Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I'm getting on par service. The insurance that we have is on par, and I have 3 kids under 11. So I hear a lot. We actually did MetaShare before that, so I've kind of been all over the map. So, again, lane one, knowing that this is sort of the foundation of the business. How are you growing, building? Where are you being inspired? Who are you spending your time around? You are, right, the sum of the 5 people that you hang around, and those that inspiration, that drive, that content is what will continue to carry you in your business. So any real estate company can help you sell. We also have lane two, which is unusual in this industry and has been. Some other agencies are trying to do this now, but it's just a wonderful incentive for agents to not only be able to sell and have something of value, but it also gives this partnership, camaraderie, sharing of information that, again, me coming from my own independent brokerage, and I came from property management before that, so I didn't have a lot of experience in the old antiquated models of the brick and mortar brokerages, but I've heard a lot of them say that it's just very much not like that. There's definitely, friendships, there's definitely camaraderie, but that it's a little bit more competition, and that it isn't quite as sharing. So that for some agents has been just a revolutionary change. And coming over here not only has given them the boost they needed, and sometimes just because of their splits and caps, they've gotten a raise. But they've gotten the collaboration, partnership, and inspiration that they didn't have before. And that's the one thing that they needed to really, skyrocket their business. And then lane three, revenue share. This is our ability to offer teams the expansion model, and to do it in a way where they don't have to have caps in every city, every state that they're in. They have one cap because we're one brokerage, and they can diversify and grow and expand beyond borders, so to speak. So we'll talk a lot about a few more of those things as we progress. So we know that technology is not getting any smaller, right? We know that things are changing rapidly. The famous Blockbuster and Netflix reference, which you've probably heard. All the other brick and mortar companies are Blockbuster, and EXP is Netflix, because we're lean, mean, and we grow fast, and we're able to expand and scale at a pace that Blockbuster and other companies like it just could never do, right? So there's that famous story of Netflix going to Blockbuster and saying, "Hey, buy us out." And I think at the time it was like 60 million. And there's a documentary, ironically, on Netflix about this that's worth watching if you get a chance to see it. And it basically shows that the executives went into the boardroom and said, "Hey, buy us out for 60 million." And Blockbuster literally laughed them out of the boardroom. And so obviously the end of the story is Blockbusters are non-existent, and Netflix is worth, 40 billion or whatever the number is, and continuing to just dominate. And there's been a lot of copycats. And once a model works, once you see that, something that looks ridiculous and something that people can't really wrap their mind around, it's a paradigm shift when you think about the way that things operate. But once people see it successful, they start to copy, and that's happened with Netflix and certainly with EXP as well. So flattery is a wonderful, sincere compliment. Imitation rather is a sincere compliment. Okay, in Circuit City, right? Amazon. I mean, you can order something immediately on your phone, and it's there literally within 2 hours. With cabs and Uber, we've seen a tremendous change. With booking agencies, we've seen a tremendous change, and we're continuing to see technology take over the way that we operate our lives. Efficiency, giving us more flexibility, the scalability, faster. There's just a myriad of benefits that we have seen as customers from technology, and EXP is of course no exception to that rule. It has definitely changed the traditional brokerage model. Again, it's been the same for the last 50 years. I worked within a traditional model as a broker owner, and it was just, for me, it was tough. I was on an island. I didn't have the collaboration. I didn't have the tools. Didn't have the scalability, and being able to kind of implement those hugely impactful elements into a business can make the difference. All right, so we are one brokerage, guys. We are not a franchise. This is important because, again, the scalability factor and the collaboration factor is huge. If you're interested in building a team, as I was, I couldn't go to another state without having all those regulations, all that red tape, all the uphill battles of getting something set up in another state. Plus, I would have an additional cap if I was with a traditional brokerage and building a team. But with EXP, since we are one brokerage, we are nationally certainly, but also internationally scaling, and we'll talk about that in just a second. The ability to have real-time support. We literally have, and Heather's going to talk about this, and it's just the metaverse, right? We literally have the metaverse, the OG metaverse, as I've heard many people say. 500 employees ready 12 hours a day, 6 days a week to help serve your needs. 7 specialized departments. Guys, in real time, in the real world, there's no way that would even be possible, especially with a global real estate company that now has 77,000, 78,000 agents. And the teamwork and the collaboration that you get, again, with not just the sharing of information, the inspiration, but also the partnership, the camaraderie. The rising tide lifts all boats vibe. When I'm talking to someone in California who's a luxury agent, they want to take the time to share with me something important that has helped them grow, because my success is their success. Which, again, in a traditional setting, that would never happen. Even in my own office, it's hard sometimes. In your own office, it's hard sometimes to get that support because people are busy, and you're also, friendly competition, quote unquote, right? The international collaboration is huge. The live training, guys, we have 80 hours a week of live training and at your disposal, at your leisure, whether you can do this from home, anywhere your computer is, your office is. You can do it from Starbucks, from the beach. Your ability to grow and learn and fill yourself with knowledge and make yourself a more valuable agent, not just for your clients, but as a business owner who's building your brand, is incredible. And the training is not being done by, I've done this so many times, driven across town, taking copious amounts of notes, right? And for me, in a setting like that, I'm just talking about sort of my struggles, right? Everyone's different, but I get a little distracted. It's a little more difficult for me because I'm a little bit of a social butterfly and I want to find out how people are doing. And, sometimes I'm a little distracted. I don't always retain all the information. For me to be sitting down, focusing on an agent that has done $100 million in sales in the world and showing me step by step how to do this, it's a game changer. Because those other times in the offices and the parks where I would have these meetings, I would go talk to the trainer and the teacher afterwards, and it turns out they sold like 3 houses. They just were not in the trenches with us. They were not, and more power to them. They're trying to sell their book or whatever it is, but that's not what I needed. I needed someone that I knew could give me real-time advice and could help me really learn how to get over whatever hump I was having at the time and address that particular issue. I got a guy on the call right now, who's a buddy of mine in Florida, Joel, and he's looking at, hey, how do I do certain things? He wants to scale. He wants to learn how to do some more lead generation. We have, and I sent him basically a training that we had that was a 3-part training on our KV course system, which Heather will talk about. Just incredible. A 3-hour course that we taught that we actually it was 3 different sessions and we added into one. And one of our agents literally breaks down step by step by step, real practical, applicable ways how to build your business. She went from, Heather's going to talk about this, 4 million in sales to 14 million in sales in 18 months, just applying these simple principles. So it's great to have, a training class where it's all rah rah, right? And, get out there and, call 100 people or 1,000 people or call your family and friends or whatever it is that they typically rely on. But what we need as agents are partners who've been there and who've done it and can show us how to step over the landmines, right? They've already navigated all this and they can show us how to do it, and they will, and they're willing to. Because again, we all succeed together. We are owners in this company. We are agent owners and partners. Guys, that's one of the main reasons this brokerage is growing the way that it is. Yes, there's a lot of features and benefits. Yes, there's a lot of ancillary impacts from different things that build the foundation of EXP. But that collaboration, it's like nothing I've ever seen, and it makes all the difference for some people. The cloud campus environment, Heather's going to talk about this. Basically, the easiest way to describe it is a 200,000 square foot business park, global real estate business park operating in the cloud. And it acts just like a business park. There are, again, 7 specialized departments, 500 employees, 80 hours of live training, collaboration, tools, technology, mentorship, everything right there at your fingertips. The typical franchise, this box on the right here, this really, really encapsulates my previous struggle as a broker owner, and really a lot of agent struggles if you have any ambition. Excuse me. There is costly overhead. You are definitely locally confined to a footprint. As a builder, like I was trying to find top talent, I had to find this top talent, bring them over, and then I had to keep them. And you try to find the best 4 or 5 agents in your footprint, and then it's staying on top of doing whatever you have to do to make sure that they stay, because everybody's always looking for the new shiny object, right? Until you find the right fit, and and deep in your heart there's this gnawing that there's something better out there. You try to do whatever you can just to keep people satisfied. It's just limited. There's limited technology, limited support, and limited opportunity with the typical franchise. All right, so I'm getting ready to turn this over to Heather, but just real quick, we are, again, a global real estate company because of our metaverse, because of the tools and technology, because we're built by agents for agents. We took, in the very beginning, this company was actually created by Glenn Sanford, who was actually a KW agent originally, and he was on several teams. He was a technology advisor, and he was a pretty prolific agent in his own right. I think he had a team that was doing about 60 million. I mean, he went to kind of the powers that be at the time and he said, listen, I see the writing on the wall. I see, for lack of a better term, Blockbuster turning into Netflix. I see this technology train is rolling down the track 90 miles an hour. We're going to have to either, lead, follow, or get out of the way, and we're going to get smashed. And it just kind of fell on deaf ears. So back in 2009, he created the concept of EXP, a global real estate company that would be virtual, but would allow not just in-person training and tools and collaboration and support and inspiration, but virtual, so that you have the best of all worlds and that you can expand and grow and be able to really, with efficiency, have what you need right when you need it. And a part of that was the growth in United States. I mean, it started out in 3 states, and then, then it was 10, then it was 30, and then it was all 50, and then it moved into Canada. And now we are growing, I think, about 3 countries a month. So this slide represents everything, all the countries that we're currently in. And our goal, guys, our goal is 500,000 agents. That's the next goal. In 5 years, we want to hit 500,000 agents in 5 years. And with the way that we're expanding and the type of services that we offer, the low caps, the low splits, the collaboration, the tools, the technology, the mentorship, the training, everything that we've talked about, we're gonna hit that number. And in 10 years, 1 million agents. 1 million agents, which would never be possible with a traditional model. Heck, we could have 1 million agents just in India. So this is an exciting slide for me because I personally know the guy, that Barry Pulver, that kind of helped spearhead this. There's a lot of people involved, so he didn't do it single-handedly, but it's just cool. This guy's in, Mooresville, North Carolina, and he's the one that kind of began to open the door for this expansion back in the early days. So it's just cool to kind of be at that level. I talk to Dave Kennord all the time. He's the president of EXP. Just to be able to have the collaboration again, even at the higher levels where the executives are willing to chat with you and hear you out. One of my best friends, Matt Rotolo, is actually on the Agent Advisory Council. He's 12 out of 78,000, and that is in place so that we can share our struggles and challenges of that we're experiencing in this industry, and the company will listen and will change and adjust as needed. And that's one of the reasons why we're expanding internationally the way that we are. All right, Heather.
All right. Yeah, I love that Matt is in my upline because he is awesome. So EXP World, like Marcus said earlier, there is 80 hours of live training every single week. When I first saw EXP World, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, but I don't know if I'll utilize it. Well, now it's like, I don't know what I would do without it. I jump in several times a week. So what I like the most is I can jump into the North Carolina State Room. I can pull a ticket and talk to a broker in charge immediately. So with previous brokerages, I had great broker in charges, but I had to wait for a response, or I felt like I was bugging them. With EXP World, you can jump into the whatever your stateroom is and pull a ticket and sit down right in front of a broker in charge, and they can answer your question right then and there. So that's definitely one of my favorite parts. The training is taught by icon agents, and we'll go over later about what an icon agent is. But this is just like, I mean, it's taught by the top agents in the company. And then the other thing I like about the training is it's not just for new agents. It's just not just for seasoned agents. It's for everybody. You can pick and choose what you like. So I attended one for hosting client events. That was something that, I've never taken a class on that before. It was very helpful. And like, it was a great way to like pour back into the community. For new agents, 5 money-making activities. And then I had a couple agents the other day take the class about how to win over a for sale by owner. So there's definitely some great classes in there. Marcus, is there anything you want to add about EXP World?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about it is initially it just seems odd. It's just one of those things that if you don't understand, or you haven't quite wrapped your mind around, like myself in the beginning, what it is and the power of it. This we own this technology, so it's I think it serves mentioning that it's proprietary to us. The Verbella technology is owned by EXP, and Stanford University, Harvard University, Microsoft, the Department of Defense is using our technology because, again, this is how work is changing. With COVID particularly, it was just a bloodbath with offices, with businesses, because nobody could come in. Even with traditional brokerages, it was very difficult. A lot of people had to shut their doors, and you guys remember how rough it was. And we actually grew. during COVID, because we even had our EXP con, which is our annual convention, inside the world, and did it exactly like it would be in real life, but we did it from home in our pajamas. And so, I think for me, it looks like this, it looks like what you're seeing right now, but it sounds like this. Just the same thing we're doing now in a Zoom call is very similar. The information is the same. You forget in like 5 minutes that you're in a virtual environment, and you recognize the power of being able to grow and have information and collaboration at this level with this type of technology. So I think that's the only thing I will share, is that the metaverse is here. The metaverse is not going away, and we happen to have created it, or at least not created it, but we happen to have developed it in a way that is most efficient first. And that's exciting, because it's going to take any other real estate company about 10 years to catch up to us. There's others that have tried, but we're way ahead of the game, and the agents are the ones that benefit from it.
Tom, can I say something real quick, if that's okay? Just to add to
Yeah,
that.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Just being an agent from EXP, if there's new people, there's never an instance when I've walked into the world that I don't have my answer answered within 5 to 10 minutes. So if it's a broker question, if it's a IT question, if it's understanding where to go to a class, there's never, like, you could even go to a broker in another state and ask questions, and you get your answers answered immediately. So it is a wonderful experience. And there's even referral opportunities by meeting thousands of agents in the world at any time. So, there's that.
No, Fred, Fred, I appreciate you sharing that. And that reminded me of something. I've got an agent onboarding right now, and she was having trouble with her password. Her password kept resetting or something, and we think it might have been the resources on her laptop, or actually she was, I think, on like an iPad or something. But I took her into agent support, and we sat down and we talked to the guy. We were probably there maybe 3-4 minutes, and then we decided that the best thing to do is go to tech support. And Fred, so we, teleported over to tech support, and man, they took over her computer. Like, they remoted into her computer like the Geek Squad, and fixed it, and then gave it back to her, and then we were good to go, just like that. And the whole thing took 10 minutes. I mean, again, in a traditional environment, this is why the Ivy League schools and the military, and this is why the businesses that get it are jumping all over this, because COVID exposed the power of this model, but your work life really exposes the efficiency of it.
Yes. All right, you can skip to the next one. All right, so this is EXP Enterprise. This is where you'll see links to SkySlope, Marketing Center. One of my favorite aspects of the EXP Enterprise is that anytime I can click it says, it's cut off a little bit, but it says your business. And I can pull up how many transactions that I've done, how much I've paid in. I can see where I'm at on my cap. So it's very transparent. At previous brokerages, you might have to talk to the admin to pull your numbers for you, but here it's all in one place and easily available. Also, links on here, you can go to your stock, you can go to your revenue share. There's just so many, everything is in this one spot, rather than you having to save all of these different websites or remember all these different links. Everything is in this one place. All right, so this first thing right here is SkySlope. So this is where you would be posting your transactions. Very easy. You click create a transaction or manage a listing, create a listing. And all you do is drag and drop your files. It has exactly what's needed. Working with real estate agents brochure, exclusive right to sell. So you know exactly what documents are needed. They can put after you upload the documents, then they'll say, hey, we're missing an initial on page 3. And then it shoots it back to you, and then you can upload your document. So it's nice that it's not just like, hey, this is wrong. They're going to tell you exactly what's wrong with it, and also to stay in compliance. Everybody's trying to stay out of real estate jail. This will help you do that. Okay, so KV Core, Marcus touched on this earlier, but delegation is key in real estate in order to grow your business, and KV Core works for you. Follow up is also key, and so you can set up drip campaigns. You can set up your clients on searches. I think Marcus mentioned this earlier, but we have one agent that went from 4 million to 14 million in just 18 months from utilizing KV Core. And then also boosting your listings. So you don't have to boost your listings, but if you do, you can boost your listings to get more leads as well. So you can pull in leads through KV Core, and it's a great follow-up system for the clients that you already have. And then I have not utilized this feature yet, but it's like artificial intelligence. Like, say your client keeps looking at a certain house, it may say, hey, I see that you're looking at this house. It will text them that they're looking at the house, and they think that it's you texting them. So it's a great follow-up system.
Yeah, it's great for engagement. And there's like the Joel, I don't know, is Joel still with us? I can't see. He might not
Yep,
be with us.
I'm here. I'm
Hey,
here.
can you speak? Sorry to put you on the spot here, but I'm wondering, because you watched the entire video, right?
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit to that, like some of the stuff that really stuck out at you?
Yeah, it's kind of like what you said earlier. She really broke it down to the kind of the nuts and bolts of it. I've been in a lot of conversations, meetings where you talk about getting into taking your CRM, involving social media, how it drives it. She broke it down from the foundation on up. And I know she'd been working with it for 18 months, but she even said that her success came a lot quicker than that. Getting to that 14 million, she still had a lot of success along the way. So very interesting. I mean, I loved it. And I'm already kind of working on things to really tighten up a lot of things that I've been ignoring and not doing. And seeing this, I can now go back, rewind, follow it step by step. And I think it's looks great for the future. So I loved it.
Joel, thank you so much for sharing that. Since you just watched it, I know it was fresh in your head, but I wanted him to share because, I think it's important to remember that success leaves clues. And, we can follow, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can follow the path that we've already laid out for you. And that's true with everything in this company. We've forged the path with Workplace. We've forged the path with the world and with the metaverse. We forged the path with knowing how to do your customer relationship management at a high level and your lead generation at a high level, how to operate your business where everything's in one place and it's all very efficient. And we've got this running kind of like a well-oiled machine. And that's not, again, this isn't even, lane 2 and lane 3, which gives you those ancillary benefits that you don't get elsewhere. It's always better to have more and not need it than the other way around. But this is important stuff because this is the heart and soul, the meat and potatoes of your business. And I think that's just important, Joel. I appreciate you sharing that because I think that's important for people to remember that you don't have to do it alone. Not only will we show you the way, but we'll walk with you through it.
Absolutely.
All right, Heather, sorry about that.
All right, next slide. All right, so EXP Workplace. This is Facebook. Facebook created this, and Workplace is a place where solely EXP agents, EXP Workplace is a place where EXP agents collaborate. They also do trainings on here. There are referral groups. There was one agent that made her whole cap within 6 months just through plugging
6 weeks.
6 weeks?
6 weeks. Yeah, she
Wow.
got, so Workplace is basically, it's like Facebook for without the cat videos, right, for EXP. And so the referral group, she worked it and got her entire cap in 6 weeks. Sorry, Heather. Yeah, 6 weeks.
Wow, 6 weeks. That's awesome. So we also use Workplace to, like, if you have a question, if you don't want to jump on the world, you're out and about, you can ask a question in EXP World. You can chat with other agents through Workplace Chat. I've watched several trainings by like our group. The KV Core was posted on there. There's videos about agent attraction. literally anything and everything that you can think of. And there's different groups that you can create on Workplace. So I think Marcus said last time that he's waiting for a group for bald guys.
But yeah, bald singers, that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. But they're like, I'm a part of a short sale group. There's just so many different ways to plug in whatever your little niche is. You can create that on Workplace and collaborate with agents, all over the world. And
Can I
then
share something real quick, Heather? So I think one of the things that really struck me is I heard someone explain it. I mean, the world is your world. It's kind of like Fred was saying. I mean, you whatever you need or your team needs, ever go in 5-10 minutes, you're in and out, which, again, it just saves you time. It's very efficient. 500 employees ready to serve you 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. It's just unheard of. And there's no other way you could operate it, quite frankly, unless it was the metaverse. But your virtual office, and I've heard that's how I've heard this explained. EXP's Workplace is like your virtual office. So, and they said, why walk down the hallway of one office and try to get help or collaboration or whatever the case is from agents there, when most of the time the people that you need to be collaborating with are probably out in the field because they're doing business. But why walk down the hallway of one office to try to get help when it may be sparingly at best, or there may be, quote unquote, friendly competition and people holding their cards close to their chest and all that, when you can walk down the hallway of every office in the country with your partners and maybe not even ask the question. You can type in search and sometimes get answers to your questions. But when you do ask a question, you get so much support and so much help, and everybody's falling all over themselves to help you, again, because we're all connected and tied together to our success. So that's one of the biggest things about a Workplace. Now, Workplace, I spend a lot of time in, and I have it on my phone, and it is one of the most incredible collaborative tools I've ever seen. Again, we still get together in person. We still do in-person training. We have, Power Girls group for some of our gals, and we have meetings and we have training that's live one-on-one to see each other, and relationships are formed. A lot of people think everything's going to be in the metaverse in the world, and that's not the case. It's just, this is, sort of additional benefit to your training and support. So thanks, Heather.
And I've never met an agent so far with EXP that's not willing to share their secrets. So that was huge. So for the marketing, on the marketing tab, you can create listing flyers, business cards, signs. It's just very easy to plug in your picture, your information, and it's done for you. It's not a lot of extra work if you're having to move, pictures over, you're having to design this pretty flyer. It's already done. All you have to do is plug and chug.
Now that I love. I've got a really good friend on this call. We were talking about this yesterday, and she just she's just not interested in, marketing. It's just not something that she feels like she wants to do, and she wants to be, out there doing deals, and maybe she's not comfortable with it, and it just feels like a daunting task to many of us. Marketing is like this elusive thing, right, that just feels like way out of your reach, even for me in many ways. And I enjoy using like Canva and stuff like that. I get a kick out of it. But so I was explaining this to her, that really you have a whole marketing center in a box that's plug and play. Like you said, it's all customizable. So, and there's so many curated collections. There's full videos. There's, presentations like this. There's everything you could possibly imagine that's already been completely designed. So you don't have to do anything but print it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. All right, so I guess I'll take over this slide. Heather, thank you so much for sharing. That was amazing. And you, again, I can't say enough good things about Heather. I mean, she just got married, so congratulations. I know married life is fun. She's running an office. She actually opened a brick and mortar office. No, just kidding. In Burlington with the EXP, and she's got the EXP logo and building an amazing team, and just super exciting to be a part of it and watch her grow and use this platform in order to really, hit the moon. And it's just exciting to watch her. She's just brilliant and a hardworking gal and just a wonderful human being. And we're just thankful to have her. So thank you again for sharing, Heather.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to just talk about the nitty gritty, right? So this is what it all comes down to. Probably what a lot of you want to see. I'll just preface by saying that, you know, obviously we have a lean split and a lean cap for the industry and for what's offered, everything that we've talked about so far. Probably could be more, but everyone comes in at the same 80-20 split. Now, most of the agents I know that I've talked to that have come over, they're actually getting a raise because of the commissions split and cap that they currently have. Some of them have gone the other way, and it's the ability to grow and scale, or it's ownership, or it's the camaraderie, or it's the world, or whatever. I mean, everybody's got a different reason why they know that they need a little extra to beef up their business and hit their goals. But most of the agents that have come over have been have given themselves a raise just by joining. So 80-20 is the commission split, $16,000 cap, and that's a roughly $2.7 million in sales. Again, back to one of our agents who got her entire cap in 6 weeks through working the referral base. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. And then once you hit that cap, you go to 100% commission for the remainder of that calendar year. You only go to a $250 fee per transaction. So it's 100% minus, $250 once you get the 100%. Now that caps at $5,000. So 20 transactions, it would be the $5,000. That caps, and then it goes down to $75 per transaction. So Heather is going to talk about iconing. I'm not going to steal her thunder, but there's something really special about this that I want you guys to listen to that I've never seen offered in any other company. Something that I've achieved multiple years in a row, and many people can with the tools that we have, that makes this very special, the 5,020 transactions after capping. So I'm going to let her talk about that. Standard cost, it's just $149. Startup fee, that is covering all your first month of tech, so that covers your KV Core, 1,000 business cards, folders, getting set up, etc. And then it's just $85 a month. There's no franchise fees, no desk fees. That $85 a month is your cloud brokerage fee. So that literally covers all of your training. It covers all your access to the world. It covers all your collaboration. It covers your KV Core. It covers SkySlope, all of your tools, that you get. The KV Core in and of itself is, I think, Joel said he looked it up and it was like $500 a month or something if you were to purchase it outside of EXP. But we just, the 85 covers that and everything else, plus SkySlope and DigiSign and all the rest of it. So that's kind of cool. And no other hidden fees. And then per transaction, you have a $65 cost, $25 broker review, and $40 is E&O or risk management. And then that E&O caps at $500 or 12.5 transactions. So we do, again, this company really has built sort of a compensation for contribution model, right? So the more you sell, the more you want to produce, the more valuable it is, the more money you can make, and the more they'll start to kind of step things down. So it makes a lot of sense to give you the tools to really be successful, but then reward you for it. And we'll talk about that right now.
Okay. So I think stock is definitely awesome. Just to go over some of the different types of stock that you can earn $200 stock whenever you close your first transaction with EXP. You can earn $400 whenever you fully cap. And then any agent that you bring over to EXP, when they close their first transaction, you earn $400 in stock. Now, this is not just, the first year that you come on to EXP. This repeats every year. So if you're a capping agent, you're getting $600 every year in stock. Same with an agent that you sponsor. Every time they close their first transaction for their reset year, you earn $400 in stock when they close that first transaction. So the Icon Agent Award, I'll just go over real quick again what an Icon Agent is. An Icon Agent is after you cap, if you do 20 more transactions, you are an Icon Agent. So for me, that averaged around 36 transactions. And it's different depending on your market and the average gross commission. But you can earn, once you icon, you can get up to $16,000 in stock whenever you icon. $8,000 of it is automatically gifted, and the other $8,000 is more of a cultural thing. And this is another thing I like is EXP is encouraging their high producing agents to plug back in. So 4,000 of that is if you become a mentor or if you host a class in the EXP world. The other 4,000 is for attending the EXP shareholders event and EXP Con. So they want you to grow as well and continue to learn. So I think that's a great thing that they're wanting you to plug into those things. The last one is agent equity. You can opt in so that 5% of each transaction is invested at a 10% discount.
Yeah, that has been wonderful. I've actually, throughout my time at EXP, I've opted in to that, and it has been very lucrative. And now we're, it's definitely buy time because the market's getting hammered. But we're a lot of the, I'm not a stock analyst at all, but I do watch it, and a lot of the more expert stock analysts think that EXP is, they're very what they call bullish on it and think it could go north of $100 a share. So we've got, I've got quite a bit that I've earned over the years, and we're just letting it sit. We're not doing anything with it. So we're excited about that. It's nice to have, have that option instead of a glass statue or paper certificate, right? It's nice to have something of value.
Yes. And I mean, some of these agents that joined a few years ago with how much the stock's grown have paid off their house or, bought a car with cash or whatever it may be. But a lot of people are doing big things with the stock that they've earned.
Yeah, I mean, for what you're doing anyway, that's the thing that's always really struck me is you're going to be selling houses anyway. You might as well get something else. I mean, I've got my college, I've got the kids' colleges paid for, I've got the weddings paid for, all from selling houses, which I'm going to be doing somewhere anyway. Mm-hmm. So, that again kind of brings it home. All right, this is guys. You guys have really hung in with us, and I appreciate it. I've apparently been a little verbose because we're almost we're close to 11 o'clock here. So I'm going to make this really short. This is the last slide, and this is our Rev Share program that we offer for agents that want to build and grow teams. This is not required. We have a lot of agents that don't do this at all. It's just something that's an option. And the basics of this is it's very similar to the Keller Williams profit sharing model, very, very similar setup. And the only thing is the difference is between profit sharing and rev share, it's about 10 times. We were talking about this morning. It's about 10 times and in some cases more. But with it's basically like tiny referrals. The easiest way to describe it is they're very tiny referrals that you make off of any agent that you introduce to EXP. You invite them to a call like this, or you send them a video, or you get them on a call with someone like your sponsor or someone else who's in your tribe and your team, and they have questions. They come over. The most you can make from one agent. So if a lot of people think, well, you just want to bring me over and make money from me, but again, it's sort of resetting the perception. The most money you can make from any one agent in a year is $2,800. So on level one. So, it would be, by the time it takes someone to explain the model and how it can benefit them, I might as well go sell a trailer, somewhere for, it's just not, it's not like this is more about collaboration and growth together and growing something bigger than the sum of its parts. But the power of it is in the compounding ability of really building a team and growing, again, not just nationally, but internationally. We can grow this without borders. So your team can be in India, your team can be in California. You can grow a team should you be interested in it right where you are. So it's basically like tiny referrals off of the agent up until they cap. And it comes out of the 20% that goes to EXP, not the 80% that goes to you. So there's no impact to the agent. And it just allows them to have the ability to grow and see some ancillary benefit and some basically passive income. We have agents, guys, who have done this, and they, one of the agents just got their first check, and it was for $70. And they were just like they were just, doing backflips because all they did is share the model and the power of how it can help agents. with others that they like and they want to work with, and that they see have passion and that they see have potential. And, that's going to pay for a gas tank for them, in this crazy economy.
They also,
And that makes
they also got $400 in stock too whenever that agent closed their transaction.
Exactly. Thank you. Good point. So yeah, so I mean, it just adds up. You can see how it just adds up. Lane 1 is great. Everybody has lane 1. You can go sell houses anywhere. Having lane 2 and lane 3 just makes sense because you're getting more for the same effort, and with more tools, training, technology, collaboration, etc. So this for a lot of people makes a lot of sense. For me, it did, because again, I owned a brokerage and I like working with people. I like working with people that inspire me and that push me. I want to be around those people that are high thinkers and high achievers and high performers. It helps, bring me up a level, and we all kind of inspire each other. And so this is a part of what I love to do. And so we have other agents, like one that just got $700 check. And they were, of course, beside themselves because that's a lot of money for passive income. We have another agent that, got 7,000. And then on and on. So, it is what you make of it. But the most exciting part of this is, instead of being in a company where all the money is flowing to the broker, EXP has built a model so that the money flows back to the agent. So it's a grassroots organized, let's work with people that we like and care about and are high producers and want to grow. And instead of all the money going to the broker, the money is going back to the agent for helping them grow the company. So that's the basics of it. I could really break it down, but if you have more questions, I would say get with the person who invited you and they can break it down a little bit more for you. I don't want to spend a lot of time because we're almost at 11 o'clock, but we do have about 5 minutes. So any questions?
I think I like this model too, because I think you already touched on it, but you're, wanting the people below you and around you to thrive, whether that's, selling more houses or just like living a happier life. Like you're invested in their success.
You are. That's great. A great point. You're tied to their success forever. Like a lot of companies will bring you on and throw you up against the wall to see if you stick, because again, that's just the business model. It's not good or bad. It's just the way things have been. And here you have someone who's vested in your success forever. Like you have someone who always wants to see you succeed and always will do what they, in most cases, I mean, there are jerks in every company, but if you align yourself with the right people, who pour into their people and who are excited and passionate about seeing people reach their highest levels, that you're going to have people that are invested in you forever. And you can't put a price on that. That's just the family, the tribe that comes around you and helps you become your best version of yourself, with mindset, with skill set, with heart set, all of those, spirit set, all those things and above. That's what I'm here for, and that's what a lot of us are here for. So, EXP, at least from a structural standpoint, really offers all those things to us. So no questions at all.
I'll just say a statement. Everything you said is true. Because it really is a family affair. Like there's agents from California to New York to Georgia to North Carolina to Tennessee that all feel like a part of family, and everybody's always reaching out, at least in our experience, always reaching out and always making sure that we collaborate, and even the great people in the family tree and stuff like that. So you don't see that collaboration in other brokerages.
Thank you, Fred. That's a good point. I certainly didn't see it as a broker owner. I couldn't get any help. I was on an island, and I mean, just coming over, I've reached out to big producing, agents, $200 million producing agents, and they're like, sure, let's go grab coffee, just because we're partners basically now, that's not always the case every time, but the majority of people are very willing to share their secret sauce with you because we all succeed together in a company where everyone's an owner.
Marcus, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah, sure.
Before I hop off, I got to run to an appointment, but transitioning over, how hard or easy is that? I mean, going, where I've been for quite a while, coming over, is that quick to do, easy to do? What can you?
Yeah, great question. So, You know, the onboarding process or transferring from where you've been for a while, there's nuts and bolts stuff that can be taxing, and some of it can go smoothly. I mean, I've seen people onboard in 24 hours. I've seen it take 3 days. And it really, it's state specific. So what I can tell you is, it's a little bit, there's going to be a challenge of just reacclimating to the new systems. That's sometimes the hardest part for people. And I never kind of sugarcoat it. I always go, look, if you're transitioning, sometimes you got to just rip the Band-Aid, and, there's going to be a little bit of a pain in the transition, but I'll go back to answering your exact question, but I'd rather take the pain now than the pain later, right? Because you always got to make that choice long term. But what we do, and there's somebody actually on this call right now, Alexandria, who can speak to this, is we're with you. Like we'll get on the phone, we'll go into the world, we'll take our time to help you if you have a challenge from a from a logistical standpoint. Of some type, we can get in there and help you. But we're onboarding 1,000 people a month, so we've got it from a 30,000 foot view. We've got it down pretty much to a science. If you have issues, again, nuts and bolts will help you. But the biggest part, I think, is just reacclimating to the new system. But once you've reacclimated, it's like the world opens up.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if that answers your question, but
Yeah, I did. No, it did. Thank you.
You bet.
And I feel like some of the systems that I didn't utilize before, like SkySlope, it was very straightforward and I didn't have any issues with it. So, I mean, yeah, there are some like really great technology pieces, but I think they're straightforward and easy to operate.
Well, we just onboarded 12 people and we had zero problems with them. And then I had somebody else that the gal that I was just talking about that had to go into the world because she was having problems with her password. Her password kept resetting and we couldn't figure out what was going on. So all the nuts and bolts stuff was taking place. All the transitioning stuff, onboarding stuff behind the scenes was all taking place, but she was actually having issues. And I just hopped in the world with her. Myself and David hopped on the world. David is actually her sponsor. But again, I still hopped in and helped because, I want to see someone that came in on my level 5 succeed. So if I need to come in and help them, I'll help them. And everyone else kind of has that same attitude, at least in our tribe and in many of the tribes in EXP, again, because of that vibe, we're willing to jump in and help.
Great. Thank you.
You bet. All right. Well, if nobody else has any questions, I think we should go ahead and wrap up. We're actually over by 2 minutes. I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate you hanging in with this. So excited to have you on this call today. Hope you've learned some things. Feel free to reach out to whoever invited you and ask more questions. We look forward to, for those of you that are not with us yet, to come on board and be a part of the family. And I hope you guys have a great day.
Well, thank y'all.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.